if you are a right-winger, you're a fascist. If you're a left-winger, then you're a communist. If you're a Muslim, you're a child-raping terrorist. And if you're a Zionist, you're a Nazi. Of course, these statements in and of by themselves are patently absurd. But, since it's fashionable nowadays to be trying to get diagnosed as functionally retarded, we get these exact examples that we get with Charlie Kirk, where basically if you are like in that right wing, like even if you're like the most milky toasty dude like this guy, you're now considered an extremist, and so it's valid to kill you, right? And what are you seeing, of course, with these responses that many people are giving, when they're cheering on his death? Of course, you're going to be having the opposite going back here, where your lefties are commies and whatever. And they seem to be a little bit functionally retarded, those people who are doing it, because what we're really talking about here is stochastic terrorism. And when you are cheering on as violence as a principal means of communication, right, then that is the interlocutor you are attracting. So I saw people, for example, suggesting that Charlie Kirk's name should be turned into a verb. And I started listing people that they didn't like. And I think this person should be kirked. This person should be kirked. Yeah, of course, this could be flipped on the other side as well, where those who are saying like, okay, you are those who are cheering it on for stochastic terrorism, we'll give you a stochastic response. You considered Kirk to be evil, so we're going to evil Kirk you. And then because you have this opinion, right? And this is rational, because think about it like this. If you invite violence as the principal means of communication, there's nothing else to talk about, right? And you are morally, regardless who you are and what opinion you are morally obligated to defend yourself. So this, of course, this brings a foreboding of a threat that needs to be dealt with sooner rather than later. So what did this teenager do, right? Which is incredibly tragic, right? I consider anyone who's under 25 to still not be an adult. I mean, they're kind of playing with adulthood, but they're not really adults, right? What did a young man really need? He needed actually a conversation with a person like Charlie Kirk, 10 years older, had a little bit of experience in life, kind of gone through with a bit, and, trying to give you another way to communicate. But what did he do? He was kind of weak and mentally disturbed, decided to take the life of a man for, ultimately no good reason. What was he hoping to achieve? Silencing him certainly caused a lot of a stir. I do not see this going away anytime soon. I mean, when this happened, I was on a stream, and then as soon as they came out that he was shot, those who were in the stream, they stated, yeah, this is a hostile military operation via the means of stochastic terrorism. So this is how, because it's in the context of psychological warfare, hybrid warfare, right? So when people are identifying this as such, right, then of course the opposite one can be expecting as well. Like, we are seeing a consolidation of a mentality that brings to this oft mentioned omen of civil war, be it in Europe, but make no mistake about it, this pans beyond the United States. Kirk's assassination made waves. And like in Norway, for example, we had politicians that also cheered on his death, but they were forced to resign, which I think is a mistake, because I think they should be there to kind of be the representatives of what party they are, right? Anyways, whether you like it or not. But it is very telling that in Norwegian media, one of the first things that they tried to do was like to have one of the most famous presenters, for example, for debates and whatever, and basically equating, him with the Kirk with Anders Behring Breivik, the single most destructive terrorist, lone man terrorist act in the 21st century, right? He was our homegrown wacko, gunning down a bunch of unarmed teenagers, right? Because these lefties, right? Even the children were irredeemable because they belonged to the party. Okay, Charlie Kirk was nothing like that. Obviously, was nothing like that. But that's how the media in Norway are painting it, and this is, of course, causing issues where we are like now they are seeing more and more Norwegians who are not only flaming towards the media, but they're deeming it as even appropriate now. Some of them to be sending the names of, for example, the politician here or certain other prominent figures who make outrageous statements, sending it to the U.S. Foreign ministries or Mark Rubio's deputies and stuff like that, right? So that they will be denied entry to the United States.
The State Department.
State Department, thank you. That was what I was looking for, right? And this is just to bar them from entering the United States. They cannot do much with them in Norway, but I found that incredibly telling when with how these things are kind of spilling across the borders. Like the whole West is kind of going in, and like right before that, we had this issue with this, Mr. Lambo had in the background there, Irina Sarica, whatever. She was clearly subjected to a racist attack, but then it says not fitting. Then it's like if we don't have a mention of it in Norway at all. And then when there was an immigrant, there was one Ethiopian care worker who was killed by an illegal Serbian immigrant, right? He'd killed her because she was black and because she was Muslim. And that was, of course, the only thing that mattered. Without actually, the media would not even touch on the underlying problem. He was an illegal, and he had already been convicted, and he was already, like, there was multiple crimes on this motherfucker already. He should have been deported to the bottom of the ocean, not even his homeland. And here, they're focusing on like, oh, far-right extremism and shit like that. Yeah, because you keep importing fucking criminals and nutcases, from one case or the other. And then you shut down debate. Okay? This is like, I think it's actually like to me, I kind of consider it's like almost obligatory that the more they try to silence, like be it through assassination, be it through smearing, be it through and so forth, and I'm sorry for having rambled so much, but yeah, I mean, I feel compelled to speak up.
You're coping.
Yes, I am really.
I think you were good. I think you did. I think what you said was great.
I'm joking about the name, man. I'm joking.
No, it's fun. My name is indeed my game.
So I wanted to do closing. So Coping, do you want to continue? Do you have any more things to close, or you want to close later? Let other people talk first.
I went on for a long time, so take me a few notches later.
Okay, I put you to closing remark. So I let Nika go first. Yeah.
So I hope that we talk about other subjects other than the assassination of Kirk. We talked about there's like still other issues we didn't talk about enough, and I think at all, like what happened to Qatar and the issues the future war against Iran and against Turkey. Those things, because people who don't know, Turkey is preparing for war, and people don't know about this. They announced about hypersonic missiles because they learned from Iran. They're preparing underground bunkers in every big city and medium city in Turkey, because they are trying to learn from the mistakes that Iran have. And even Iran is trying to prepare for itself, because we have a rogue state supported by a rogue president, a genocidal supporter president, Trump. And this is my opportunity, my main belief. If we said it's genocide Joe, I think we are entitled now to say genocide Trump. Because it's supporting even more what they are doing. Always the craziness of the Israelis is on top of the limit.